Hello guys, Charles here and welcome back to my channel. So today I want to talk about a device which has been used primarily by piano players, including Chopin, Liszt, Beethoven and jazz players such as Art Tatum, Bud Powell and Oscar Peterson. That device is of course the country motion scale. Now a country motion scale, it kind of does what it says on the tin. It's when we take a scale and we play it up and down at the same time. Now this technique lends itself really nicely to the piano because of the way we sit at the piano with both hands in front of us. It's very comfortable for the right hand to go right and the left hand to go left, or in other words, the right hand to play the scale ascending whilst the left hand plays the scale descending. And that's a very natural, comfortable motion for piano players, and they've really taken advantage of that. However, tackling country motion scales on other instruments is very, very tricky. And there's a few different ways of tackling them, maybe breaking the country motion scale up so we're not really playing them simultaneously but alternating intervals. But I thought I'd share with you a couple of the ways that I've been thinking about country motion scales this week in a harmonic context. So I've been working on a little etude based on the chords of Body and Soul, just the first 8 bars, and I've been trying to put in these country motion scales for my own sake as a practice tool, and I must say they are really, really challenging, and I certainly don't have them anywhere near as legato as I would like them to be just yet, but it's certainly something I'm working towards, and I thought I'd share some of these sounds with you today. So let's have a little listen and then we'll dive into breaking down what's going on here. Right, so that's the sound of it. It took me about a squadrillion takes to get a half decent sounding one there. It's really, really tricky under the fingers, but hopefully you get the vibe I'm going for. So let's break down some of these country motion scales that we've got going on in this short passage. So we start with a country motion scale. So this is the pickup into the first chord of E flat minor, and we're playing here kind of a dominant sound going into the E flat. And this style of country motion scale, we're starting with the same note. So this is starting both voices on one B flat. And then one of the voices is going up to B natural and one's going down to A flat. So this is going through the minor bebop scale, or the minor 6th diminished scale. I'm there on the 3rd and the 6th, then the 2nd and the 7th, quite tricky keeping track of these, and then that resolves outwards to the tonic. So, and we're playing an E flat minor chord there. So that one just comes from the minor 6th diminished scale of E flat. And that's all I'm playing there. You can think of that as a melodic minor scale with an added flat 6. We did a video on that which you can see up here. So that's one type of country motion scale where we start on a single note and spread out into 2 voices. We then, the next one is at the end of bar 2 here, where we're on a B flat 7 chord. And we do the same idea, but this time it's on the dominant bebop scale, where we've got a major 7 and a minor 7 in this scale. So that's the passage we're going down and up. But we're only going as far as the E flat again, so that gives us a single note, 1 up, 1 down, and then we resolve to E flat minor again. So that's the same idea as the first one, just with a different set of notes. We've got going straight from the B flat to the C, rather than the B flat to the B in in the first one. So our next one's at the end of bar 3. We've got an A flat 7 chord here. This time, instead of starting on the single note of A flat, we're starting with an interval of a third, A flat and C. And so the C is going to go upwards and the A flat's going to go downwards, again through that dominant bebop scale with the major 7 as well. Gives us that nice country motion. And then here, for a bit of fun, I wanted to squash this D flat major 7 chord into a D flat diminished and then let it rise up. That D flat 6. So D flat diminished, D flat 6. Gives us a very pretty sound. Next one, we're on G flat major 7 now. Now this is a G flat built on the 4th degree of D flat major 7, so it's G flat Lydian. So I started with the sharp 4 here in this country motion scale. We've got G flat, C, which is our sharp 4, and then we've got E flat. And this one I've just added an extra voice in the bass right at the end there, just to resolve nicely down to the 8th fret in the next bar. But that's just another country motion scale there, starting on a third. There's our third, and then adding that extra bass note to get me to the 8th fret here. So I'm now in bar 5. Now we've got this E diminished chord here, so I'm going to use the diminished scale for this one. Again, starting on a third, starting here with the flat 5 of the E diminished and the diminished 7. So that's the most diminished sound possible there. And then the flat 5's descending through the diminished scale and the diminished 7's ascending. So we end up with this sound. I really like this one. This one resolves really nicely, I feel anyway. Now I deliberately made this E flat minor chord a sus chord so that that voice kept on going upwards. I thought that was really cool. Versus that. So it sounds like this in context. Really tricky, that one. It's so difficult under the fingers, but again, these are such nice sounds that I'm going to stick with them and get them. I'm starting to get there. They're a lot more comfortable than they were even just 2 days ago when I came up with these ideas. So stick with it and you'll get them. And we then just got this descending idea. For that chord there, you'll want to use your middle finger to play the middle 2 strings. So I'm barring those 2 8th frets in the middle there, 9, 8, 8, 9. It's really tricky to keep that middle finger bar out the way of the B string. So bar the A string as well, but just don't pick it with the right hand. And it clears that B string. So this next bar, bar 7, we are on a C minor 7 flat 5 chord going to an F7. So as we know by now, Spicy 251 video, which you can watch up here, we're going to treat the 2 and the 5 just as an altered sound, both together. So I've got this C chord to start, and then I'm just descending through a F altered scale. So I've got A and F, A flat or G sharp, to a G flat on the top, and then just down to this altered chord. And you can add here, if you want, you can add the 6th fret on the G string as well. This tritone, very important tritone for playing Monk sounds. You need that every now and then. That comes back in a second as well. Then here I had the opportunity to add the melody in, so I thought I may as well go for it. Again, starting with a third. Again, you may as well add the 6 on the G string here, which is why it's in brackets. There's that flat 5 chord again. Then I dropped all the way down here because I wanted that chunky Monk sound. Bernstein does this so well. And then resolving nicely to the major 7. So I hope you found that idea useful, but you can see by simply playing scales in contrary motion, we outline this wonderful sense of polyphony. And remember, harmony, I think it was Hal Galper who said this, chords are a photo, but harmony is a video. Something to that effect. We learn chords and we study chords, but really the chords don't really exist. They're just a snapshot. They're a moment in time of polyphony, of movements. So contrary motion is a great way to start to add movements in an easy way. And when I say easy, I really mean simple. It's simple to understand, but it's very un-guitar friendly. So I think these are ideas which I wish I'd been working on these sooner, but I'm going to make them part of my regular practice. I'm going to get these down. So make sure you can do it with all your bebop scales. Really would be the best place for this. Bebop scales work really nicely. Barry Harris outlines so many nice movements based on the contrary motion of the bebop scales that he's taken from guys like Bud Powell and Art Tatum. So try these in your own playing. I hope you understand the general idea of what I'm trying to achieve here, although I'm sorry I don't feel I demonstrated it as well as I might be able to in a couple of weeks' time, but I wanted to share this with you today. Leave me a comment down below. Let me know if you'll be trying this idea out and if you've got any great uses for the contrary motion scale, either on the piano or the guitar or on any instrument for that matter. If you found this useful, please do give this video a like, subscribe, ding that notification bell. Remember, if you don't ding that bell, you won't hear about any of my future videos, which are going to be groundbreaking and you don't want to miss them. And as always, I hope you're all doing very well, getting plenty of practice in, and I very much look forward to seeing you in the next one. Cheers.
Roll up, let me embed a story you'll never forget. A drip, drip, but drowning in debt now. You can't buy your way out, and I heard you find it difficult to cope. Well, here by this bottle full of hope and